Let me ask you a simple question. How do you put evolution and abiogenesis in the same pot? Simple answer, you don't. One explains how life came out from non-life, the other one explains biodiversity. Simple. And there is this one guy here called silly me, Doesitaddup101. Now I have to admit, I have dealt with his video previously, but I'll give him a fair chance to make it up. Let's see if he can debunk abiogenesis. I had to remove the audio because YouTube bitches and whines about it. It was some song of the EMI records. I have no idea which one, but who cares? Anyways, sorry, there's no sound in his parts. Dude, stop. Okay, not like that. So basically what you do here is exactly the same what you do in other videos. You make a video about subject you really don't know much about and proclaim victory. Yeah, I won the evolutionists or something. There are no future evidence that can disprove my evidence. The ultimate evidence. Well, except in this case. Okay, and many others, but those are small things, so But if you knew anything about science and how scientists work, you probably figured out that the paper that came out in 2002 might want to get updated, and it was. Nature, May 21st, 2009, about 6 months after you posted your video. You see, this article can easily describe how the microbes could survive. For instance, on the basis of numerical methods of impact-generated heat in Earth's crust, they proposed that, at worst, only 37% of Earth's surface was sterilized, and less than 10% experienced temperature about 500 degrees. Yes, there is much more interesting stuff in this article, but I will leave the link in the crouch bar. No, and no again. This article is not published in Science. This article was published in Creation in June 2006. So no. You're not really going to get away with this one. No, you're talking about evidence again. No! going to be really boring, ain't it? I love it how quickly you want to attach the chain of evidence to science, but fail to attach it to something else, like, I don't know, Bible, religion, you know, stuff like that. Wait, weren't you a molecular biologist? Because this part is kind of important. Because, you know, ribose is usually inside of the cell and not floating freely outside of the cell. And believe it or not, there are organisms that can survive high temperatures called thermophils. I can't see a problem in that. I don't see why this would be a problem. So basically your alternative to all of this is ignore everything that we know about biology, ignore everything that we know about cells, ignore that we know a lot of thermophilic organisms, ignore basically how chemistry works, and of course, physics. Can I get away with quoting paper? Yes? Cool. In a series of seminal papers published in the 1950s, Juan Ora and his co-workers showed that adenine is produced in applicable yield by refluxing a solution of ammonium cyanide, and that 4-amino-5-cyanoimidazole is an intermediate in this synthesis. These closely related reactions have been investigated repeatedly under different reaction conditions, and the products have been analyzed using improved analytical techniques. In addition to adenine, a small amount of guanine have been detected among the products of HCN polymerization. In a particularly striking experiment, adenine has been obtained in 20% yield by heating HCN with liquid ammonia in a sealed tube. In my source, a paper called Prebiotic Chemistry and the Origin of the RNA World by Leslie Orgel. Yes, it's the same paper that you linked, but you kind of failed to read it, didn't you? Well, you got me. I admit the defeat. Yeah, right. You got me stumped, of course, but not with the question, but the contradiction you posted 2 or 3 questions back. Okay, next question. Here is a good question. Why are you ignoring the cell capsid? Can he source, please? No? Ah, figures. Okay, molecular biologist. Have you ever managed to heard about this thing called, I don't know, enzymes maybe? Those are those little tiny molecules that reduce the amount of energy needed for biochemical reactions. So, biochemistry 101 maybe? Hello? Hello? Anyone there? So, which one is it? Was it too hot? Or was it too cold? Or did you manage to forget what you argued 2 or 3 questions back? Cell capsules! Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, Robert Shapiro says that. But did you actually read the complete article? Okay. For those who didn't read it, it goes something like this. Yes, he does say that. But he says that in favor of his own hypothesis, which states that cell metabolism came first. However, and it was ditched quite quickly because cells with only metabolism aren't capable of Darwinian evolution. Have you ever heard this from the scientists? We don't know. Yes, scientists do not know everything about the origins of life, but that does not imply that God did it. We don't know how, we don't know when, we don't know anything, but we do know that God did it. Well, one of them probably, maybe more, or something. Chance of the gaps or God of the gaps? I find it funny when you're trying to cram your God into everything that we don't know yet. We said, we don't know how this happened? And you said, yes, I know, God did it. Even if it's later proven that those kind of things can occur completely naturally, without any divine intervention or something like that. So basically, without sources, you're quoting something that I cannot find. Leslie Orgel didn't say that. But then again, without sources, I cannot tell.